Um, and thanks, Erin, for that. And it's an honour to be published by Broken Sleep Books. And this is a collection very much about desire as well as music. I was just reading recently about young girls' music tastes are always kind of slightly belittled, you know, compared to the blokes who are musos. So this is very much that kind of my response to that. I'm going to launch in. Okay, so this is this poem called Hero Worship. Achilles picked me up from school in his red sports car. My spring term buds out, shirt buttons undone, skirt hitched up. Get in, he said, sounding American. I swooned as the girls turned. He looked through our smiles and told me in a whisper that I looked like Lydia Lunch. I walked down hallways looking for him, wrote his name on my pencil case, swore blind, made excuses like some poor fool, spent my days cutting him out of magazines. He was drunk with Pat in the dark dive bars near the station where I found him. He told me in a whisper I was wasting my time. So I got all love-bitten on a sugar-coated neck as he sent me love songs on the internet, hired a man to write my name in the sky with a plane, take me back. I smiled as he bled from his heels, showed things to Pat no girl can reveal. It was spring and my step had a mean, mean streak. The girls creamed up with strawberry lip gloss, crossed their legs in bobby socks, watched me out of the sides of their eyes. Achilles picked me up on his motorbike, outside the school gates, down narrow lanes on lines of speed and acid tabs. It was April. He told me I was a cruel, cruel girl to tease him like that. And the next poem is a poem about very young love, actually, when you don't quite know what anything is or where it may lead. This is a poem called Stalker. I didn't want you to hold my hand or even like me, but you were funny. I liked your gang and the way that you used to walk me home from school. Though the way you followed me about the corridors unnerved me, I didn't know why. You were everywhere I looked. I admitted that you made me laugh. You cried tears and said you liked the things I did, said everything I did delighted you. I didn't want to be seen with you, but your face was sensational. You got me listening to those bold, bad drums and boot stomping songs and taught me about riffs and how they could put heartbreak and dirt into a song. And then spoiled everything by holding my hand. You stood up and kissed me in front of everyone. I almost died when you declared undying love and when they expected us to get married. My mother stopped me seeing you and I was relieved. You waited for me outside my house every day, telling me this would lead to better things and there would be a world where it wouldn't matter that my parents were from Bangladesh and yours from Wolverhampton. I said you were catchy, but not a catch, and mostly ignored you. Wished you wouldn't turn up every Christmas, though in secret sometimes. I wondered how you were getting on. Someone told me years later you'd become a skinhead, a hooligan, and into English Rose, but I didn't really believe it. You were the first to love me. Years later, when I saw a picture of you, I was shocked. You were certainly not as good looking as I remember. And this next poem is called Sidekick, because I think girls want to be the hero sometimes. Sidekick. We graduated from potato guns to plastic Lugers. You were always the hero. You can be the hero's girlfriend, you said, and gave me the rubbish gun. You said you were Logan 5 and I had to be Jessica 6. We graduated to kissing in playing fields. You took me by surprise that summer. We found punk records we liked in HMV. Why won't you let me kiss your lips? You kept saying. I didn't know the answer. The feel of you on my neck was enough. You yelled into the sea that summer, got your armour all wet. You climbed out of the waves dripping with salt water. I was on the rocks pretending to smoke. You slipped in some seaweed as I shot you with that cap gun between the eyes. You said I was mental, a freak wave of nature. I said you were a one-hit wonder. And this next poem is kind of when love gets a bit more dangerous and serious and a bit more real. Cracked actors. That summer, I became Puck, Miranda, Titania. You turned Romeo, Hamlet, Antonio. Let's run away, you said. Peter Pan the fuck out of here. You stole your dad's Vauxhall Cavalier. I stole my dad's checkbook. And we drank as you drove down the motorway. I was in love with Bowie, and you were amused and jealous as I sang along to Diamond Dog's Sweet Thing, 5 years. You said I was beautiful. So I shaved off my eyebrows and spiked up my hair. And Cupid blind. I knew you were desperate. I stood on the hotel room's bed with fishnets, a fake fur jacket, painted lips of dust ruby to take you. In the mirror, we melted together. Show real slow. Is it hunky-dory? I wanted to know. The tape recorder we bought on the way played Lady Stardust. We acted like movie stars. Nothing was safe. You were slicked back, I waxed and waned, made up from a strange thing of you. Someone clapped. Did we make it from the bones and blood of us, all smeared like lipstick on the sheets as we fell to earth? The theatre lights dimmed, and we drove slow-paced. I was a vixen when I was back at school. You, Oberon, had a line or two to get through. I was playing kitchen sinks and gin until you were out of my system. And this poem is a murder ballad. Fashionable Victim. I didn't kill anyone though, but this is called Fashionable Victim, and it's got a line from a song by Japan, David Sylvian. There was a girl covered in chalk. Would that ever cross your mind? Who fell for the boy in the lipstick and skirt, down by the sorry tide. His bearded brother came to call. Would that ever cross your mind? He beat down the door and the walls of her hut, down by the sorry tide. Her face was all but rubbed away. Would that ever cross your mind? His driving hands came through her tracks, down by the sorry tide. She pined for that beautiful boy. Would that ever cross your mind? While his brother bragged in the local pub, down by the sorry tide. She waited with a sharpened blade. Would that ever cross your mind? And ripped a dead child from his chest, down by the sorry tide. She took to wearing mourning robes. Would that ever cross your mind? While she spent her time in the record shops, down by the sorry tide. The beautiful boy was swept away. Would that ever cross your mind? She danced in the club for his quiet life, down by the sorry tide. Now the child hides inside her guts. Would that ever cross your mind? And the music's become her geisha girl, down by the sorry tide. And this poem is called D flat minor. And we'll just get into it. D flat minor. He's at the door, she's at the window, fizzing, ripening, plump, visible, winked at. The pub on the corner sits gate clashing next to the video shop that sells all-night booze. She comes with a flat, no pool, full ashtrays, tries on clothes and people. Her doorman lets them in. She's in season, upholstered, listens to Harrison sing Hare Krishna, waves joss sticks at Buddha. He knows stories above her, damp damage, mould, rats, who sits under bridges, places to score, holes in his shoes to stretch, in with a harem. Shall I dance for you? Unveil and perfume. He can't stop knocking. Walks on Persian carpet, someone's ceiling. She has a rude awakening on a bathroom floor. The doctor gives a 6-month lease, desirable views of water and trees, a balcony, deposit, 5x3 garden. She panics about defrosting. Hears them knocking, hardwood, pine wood, chipwood, plasterboard, Norwegian wood, self-assembly friends, a doorbell heart, no answer. And this poem is about a man I was in love with, who I never declared my love for, but he did give me a lot of advice about the boys. They always lie. You sit next to me, my seat, ask for a cigarette, and I keep smoking. All I want to know is where you're sleeping. I write down all your good points. Clever, handsome, funny. I do this while you're not looking. Do you go to the oaks, poison ash in hog plum? In your palm trees in crazy sun, your stories make me cry. You didn't know your name until you were 9, answer to boy. After work, I go and sleep in a tree, in the pines, maybe, in Regent's Park. Over coffee at lunch, we complain about the cold and compare skin. They'll always lie, you tell me. The boys, you tell me, not to fall for their tricks. Call me funny thing. I see you shiver as you sit too close to me. Call me girl. I shouldn't be alone. You will show me a calabash, a cannonball tree. I say, I like the pines, and you laugh. You know Indian trees are pretty in the monsoon, and I pine. Where do you go? Show me the ink inside my skin. Don't believe them, you whisper. Bright girl, clever girl. You smoke my cigarettes. Tell me that boys lie. Give me lists of blues singers. It was called Black Girl, that song you love, you say. You buy me 20 silk cut before you go, and we drink tea in the smoking room. I'm not brave like you. Don't say anything as you wave in that long-fingered way. Don't fall for the lies from the tops of trees. Keep ahead of the boys. And this next poem is, it's kind of about the 90s, really, and it's a boy I was seeing in the 90s. Lovecraft, comic caper, dressed like the Velvets, gave himself haircuts and false names. Pick this card and stick it in the fridge to keep it, the coolest trick. A Waterloo sunset while he sipped cola in a Soho bar. London cooled. He met her at the bus stop on Islington Green, St James Park, a party on Caledonian Road. He met her in the Samuel Beckett, pretended he wasn't looking. Call me the devil, the horned one. Could explain herself on a night bus to Clerkenwell. Sometimes Baudelaire, other times beer and jelly deals. It was his turn. What a coincidence, he said. Primal Scream, football, Oasis and cocaine. He offered her Molly and 30 quid. Cartoon girlfriend, she wept tears. Oh, Brad, won't you take me out? She tired. The bands waned and the mixer didn't fix her. Play me a Torch song. She didn't like his answer or his reveal. You can be Betty Blue and I can be Walter Mitty. In the heat of the new improved city where the bands played footy on top of HMV. She took a card from up her sleeve and she wanted something real, rubbed him out. And this is my last poem, and it's about the act, I think, of falling in love, that moment you know it's too late. Talking. Your mind flows over each neuron and bursts into a star flower as I watch, all lost for words. Talk, unprepared, thick, and after hours. You ask me who I am. I wish you were less familiar. Your question helps me lose feral notes of what comes next. Words that stick, that glow with what comes from being seasick. Changes in one drift of instant. I wish I'd not had that last drink. Where the wine glass grows bright, I say, oh no, oh no. It's out of my hands, spilt over sawdust of a South London pub floor. And my dress. We talk and talk about Lacan.